Today I'm going to change out an exterior door. This one happens to be right hand. Are you worried because you have a left hand swing? Well, don't worry. Because there are two of them. I have a right hand and a left hand. We'll get to see them both. There you go. Now we gotta take off the casing. I always like to cut the edge, make sure it doesn't pull and tear off the drywall. Make sure the blade's all the way behind the trim. Right down into my crawl space. Those are the new flooring joists that I put in from underneath the crawl space. I cisterned them onto the existing ones because the existing ones were rotten, as you can tell by this sill right here and the bottom sides of this jamb. So in regards to this kind of project, right now is the point of no return. So we got to finish this today. So there it is, all cleaned up. I'm gonna have to cut a new piece of 2x8 to go in there. It's gonna fill that gap. I'm gonna caulk it, seal it all up nicely. So I measured my rough opening, and with that opening to my crawl space is 82.5 inches. I need to be 82.5 for my rough opening. So I'm not sure that I can put something down there. I'm gonna dry fit the door right now and see how it fits. Hopefully I can get enough room to at least get a treated piece of lumber in there. So the door doesn't actually fit. The fascia of the house, which is this right here, is too low. So I have a line drawn here that I'm gonna have to cut out so I can put the frame of the door. You can see the shape of the door. I gotta stick this corner piece up into the fascia here. So I'm gonna cut that out. Hopefully I can maneuver it in there. If not, I'm gonna have to start ripping out some fascia. It's gonna be ugly. We'll see. So you can see I cut that fascia out, so hopefully that frame can tuck right up in there. All right, got it lined up. Let's see if it fits. Well, would you look at that? So this turned out to be a total mess. I will share with you what I'm talking about. This concrete that was overspilled when they poured this patio is higher than the flooring joist the board's attaching to. So I had to get out the old block plane and shave down part of this 2x8 so it fits over the lip of this concrete. So let's see how this fits. Alright, I've dry fit this door several times and layered my bottom caulk, and I am ready to put it in. Go ahead and get on the shimming process now. See this gap here? You've got to fill that so the door has something tight to sit against. The way these shims work, you just alternate patterns and you get bigger and smaller pieces. Alright, my door is totally in. I'm gonna put on the hardware again. Alright, one down, one to go. It's already dark here, but it's 7 o'clock p.m., so we got plenty of time. And here we go. Alright, so I'm on my second one. This is the left-hand opening door. And I had to cut the sill totally differently than the first one. This concrete, it should have allowed for a 2x8. That's like a 4x at the thinnest part there, so kind of tried to contour. I'm gonna have to find some other flashing to cover up that. I got the door installed, and unfortunately my camera died while I was installing this, so I didn't get to cover how I did the shims. That's pretty important, so I'll bring you up here and show you exactly what I did. So I installed my shims by starting on the side with the hinges, and from here I put a shim above each hinge. So I got 1, 2, 3, and then on the other side I mirrored that. So I got 1, 2, 3. I made sure to put a shim right above deadbolt. That way that gives some extra stability to the lock and to the locking mechanism. And finally, the last thing is when you are installing your door, you need to make sure that it's actually level. So aside from checking all of the sides, if the door is not truly level, the deadbolt and the door piston will not line up where they need to go inside of the jamb. And so one way you need to resolve that is by adding shims in other places. For example, what I did was I added a shim up here on top. That pushed down the jamb and lined up the deadbolt with the spot it needs to go. Before that, I had to hold the door and lift it so I could actually lock it. And that's not right. You need to have it be a nice, smooth, precise action. When I first lined up my door, it didn't line up smoothly. So I marked the opening on the actual strike plate where the deadbolt needs to go. And then I can open the door slightly and line it up between those spaces. So as long as the deadbolt comes between those two lines, it's gonna fit and lock properly. Well, there you have it. That's how I changed my 2 front doors. Both doors are looking great and they're functioning properly. Subscribe and follow so you can see more of what I end up doing with this house.